Let's start with the big game this weekend that we have been talking about. It is, of course, the Manchester derby. It splits our two guests. They're two very passionate and tribal guests. I think that is fair to say. So we thought a little bit of a combined 11, Joe. Quite straightforward, the rules.
This is going to be simple, isn't it? Obviously not. Obviously, you can pick basically anyone. We're going to suggest you can take players that are injured because there are a few sort of niggly injuries floating around both squads at the moment. We don't know whether or not they're going to be available or not available for this weekend. So, should we start with goalkeepers?
Let's do it.
I think you should have a deciding vote today.
Love to, mate. Yeah.
Since you're the only neutral in the room.
Love that, mate. Bring it on.
Goalkeepers then. You're going Donnarumma, Ads. Donnarumma. So, is he going straight into the 11, Gianluigi?
Yeah, he has to. Look, I think obviously United have signed a young keeper. There's a debate there. Should he be starting the Manchester derby? That's a fair debate to have. Donnarumma's played bigger games than the Manchester derby. He's played, Championship finals, Champions League final. He's just won a treble. If he's not ready to start a game now against Manchester United, then when is he ready to start? He has to come straight in for me.
What does that mean for Trafford, though? Because obviously you've bought Trafford in this summer for over £30 million. He's maybe a future England number one. He's come in probably on the promise of being eventually the City number one. And within the first summer of him being there, it feels like he's already been usurped.
I think it's evidence that, like you look at Donnarumma as well, and you look at even Erling Haaland to a certain extent, City's goalkeeper and forward are very unlike Pep signings. They're not typical Pep signings. And I think you're seeing that throughout the team. I also think for all the things about Man City that you can say, their recruitment has been incredible over the last 10, 15 years. But the last 2 to 3 years, it does seem like something's not quite there. They're kind of just patchworking this team together, and it doesn't seem to be a plan there, which is it's great for a United fan to watch. But it is weird to see City acting like that.
Do you think you needed Donnarumma then this summer?
Yeah, because I think he's arguably the best keeper in the world. He's, for me, just behind the likes of Alisson, but he could grow into being one of the best keepers in the world. Distribution's a big factor, but City we can't be talking about distribution. City's back line is so weak at the moment, so porous at points, that sometimes you just have to go straight in and just get the best keeper in that position. I think Pep has to go back to a bit of a simple, traditional view of football in terms of being a bit more basic, playing out from the back, having a great back four, having a settled midfield ahead of them, having a world-class keeper, going back to basics. You can't replace Ederson anyway. So getting Donnarumma, he's the best, for 26 million quid, maybe the best keeper in the world.
What do you make of that? A lot's been made of the fit for the Pep system, though, because obviously I think undeniably he's an unbelievable shot stopper. He was one of the best keepers that we saw in the Champions League last season, but that he's not a ball-playing centre-back like Ederson is. A lot's been made of that. Do you think that's fair, or do you not think that will be an issue?
I think he's a little bit underrated with his feet. Like, he's not going to drive the ball 50 yards into the likes of Erling Haaland and get assists. Like, Ederson was picking up 4 or 5 assists in his entire Man City career. It's outstanding. But Donnarumma can play it simple to the centre-backs. He can play it to the full-backs. And ultimately, his shot-stopping, that's the number one thing for a keeper is shot-stopping.
OK, stick him up. Total agreement. Let's go to right-back. Now, some interesting choices here on right-back.
This is rogue, from both of you, I think. This is a rogue suggestion.
Buvey's gone Kusanov.
I've gone Kusanov, I'll just rationalise it.
You've made me feel good all of a sudden.
Yeah, I'll have to rationalise it because I think Kusanov's got great pace. I think City have won trebles before with 4 centre-backs. Can this guy go right back? I like him a lot. When Diaz and Stones are fit, they both start for me, and Gvardiol comes back into the side. Kusanov could be a right back.
And you've gone for?
Patrick Dorgu.
A left back.
Weird one. Also, no.
What is going on?
He's also a right back.
He's got a left back.
He's also a right back, by the way. He started playing for Manchester United at right back. I thought about Mazraoui, but he's become more of a right centre back. Like,
surely Mazraoui is obviously the right back is an issue that Man City
and I also
Kyle Walker.
want to take the opportunity to talk about Patrick Dorgu because I've seen United fans kind of dig him out and say he hasn't been good and stuff. He was a young kid that joined a new team that were having a shocker of a season, settled very quickly, has done quite well in my opinion. And I think this season he started off well as well. Look, he may be preferred on the left-hand side, but he can play on the right-hand side. And United and City's fullbacks are shocking.
So he'd be your first choice right back for Man United if everyone was fit?
He'd be on the left.
That's my point.
This is a combined team. If Manchester United also had Ait Nouri, I'd probably support the next bit a bit.
What do we do here, Joe? I mean,
it's your selection.
What do we do?
Kusanov's only started one Premier
You can't
League
put him there. Come on, he's a centre back.
He's got great pace. I see him as a right back in the future, I do.
Are we edging for Dorgu then?
I
think with this...
I mean, this is a crazy...
It's a mad debate. I've got to be honest, it's a mad debate. Go on. We'll stick Dorgu on for the arguments you brought forward, but I was surprised with...
that is a surprise. I can't lie.
He's shocked as well. Patrick Dorgu's watching this going, what?
Interesting names that you both brought to the
Let's go to your first centre-back. I think there is an agreement. So let's put him on the board, John Stones.
Stones.
And let's also do your second because there's a disagreement there, right? So
You can't have
De
De
Ligt
Ligt
over Diaz.
over Diaz, Ruben
So
Diaz.
you've gone Stones and Diaz, you've gone
Nowhere near.
Stones and De Ligt. Why have you gone De Ligt over Diaz?
Mr. Maya Jammer's not cutting it anymore. And Matheus De Ligt has been solid for Manchester United. Like, he genuinely has. And I think, again, look, we've been shocking. So it kind of, no one's going to praise anyone associated with Manchester United. But I think Matheus De Ligt has been a great signing. I think he's a leader. I think he's solid at the back. And in a back four, I would definitely have him.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because you've both gone John Stones instinctively, but he only started 6 games last season.
Well, down to fitness. If he's fit, he's the best centre-back I've seen in my
So
this
he's better than
generation of
Diaz?
England centre-backs. He's the most talented centre-back arguably England's ever produced
you
in
think-
terms of being on the ball.
Real Ferdinand's wants to have a word about that.
Sorry,
But
best
also-
centre-back England have ever produced.
On the ball, in terms of
On the
controlling,
ball.
he controlled a Champions League final in midfield. He's popping into midfield, popping it off 1-2 touch. It was outstanding stuff. But he's just got a bad injury record, and I hope it can change this season.
See, I was going to pick Leacher as well, would have been a possibility, but his injuries are shocking.
But these guys could have been 4-0
available.
down to Grimsby. De Ligt was part of that, one of the 3
Keep
centre-backs.
talking,
They're
keep
so
talking.
bad, they
Wait
need
for
3
tomorrow.
centre-backs against Grimsby Town. They should have been 4-0 down.
Wait for
How's he
tomorrow.
better than Ruben Diaz, please?
Wait for tomorrow.
Please.
Watch.
I think it's interesting there's no Lenny Yoro shout. I was kind of expecting a Lenny Yoro
You know
shout
what?
from you, Ads.
It's a good point, to be fair, and I've probably had a little bit of an oversight. But also, this guy is solid.
Yeah, okay.
This guy is
I
absolutely
think it's a good
solid.
debate.
Don't do it.
I
Man.
think we edge with Diaz. If bear in mind the metric
Whoa,
is
whoa.
greatest 11. We've done this. We're not including
Damn, I should have
injuries.
gone with
and of course
Lenny.
the partnership of Diaz and John Stones. Yeah, surprised didn't have Yoro there.
You know what? I think Yoro's mustard. I really do.
And no Gvardiol either. Not even a suggestion in there. Boost, obviously, these two are going to be your starting pair then?
If they're fit, that's
So where's
the issue.
Gvardiol play?
They rotate. Obviously, City are in all competitions at the moment, unlike Manchester United. And got European football, unlike Manchester United. So there's a lot of rotation. 50
Okay.
games a season. It's a lot of rotation, lads.
I'm not biting.
I love how you turned that again.
I'm not biting.
Okay, left back. Let's have a look at
So
we got.
could have had
Yeah.
Paddy D over there. Could have had Patrick Dorgan.
Could have,
left
yeah.
back,
But I went for a bit of, balance. I think Aitner is the best left back on both teams, really.
Shane's injured, 5 weeks out now. He won't
Have
be
you been
playing
impressed with
against
him
Man
at the start of the season, Aït-Nouri?
I think defensively, they're gonna have to figure out the kind of midfield ahead of him because he's going to bomb forward. Who's going to fill in from midfield? A bit like how Jordan Henderson would with Trent, for example, at Liverpool. Who's going to fill in when Aït-Nouri bombs forward? That would be a big issue. But at the moment, he's not even going to play for the next 5 weeks. So City have to figure out the next left back who can go in there. Maybe someone like
Do you think
Nathan
that'd be
Ake.
Gvardiol, maybe?
Vardiol, Nathan Ake, 100%. But he's been superb when he started.
Okay.
He was calling Vardiol the best left back ever last year, by the way. Now he's not in his team.
Yeah, I think that is interesting. He
Which
was
is
playing
mental.
really well last year, Gvardiol. He
Yeah,
was
he was,
contributing to
yeah.
loads of goals,
Popping up the
defending
goals, isn't he?
excellently. But we've gone Aït-Nouri, okay, so let's go him up.
There we
It's an
go.
interesting start to the combined 11, I think
Yeah.
it's fair to say, especially in that full-back area.
Yeah, it's yeah.
But both teams have bad fullbacks
Yeah.
or bad fullback selection.
Bad
at the
form,
moment.
bad form. Great
And also,
fullbacks and bad
United
form.
play kind of a different system, don't they? So it's hard
Worth
to-
pointing out, yeah,
hard
it's
to
a different
fit some of
system.
those
So
players in.
technically, the right back area was an interesting debate. But let's go, I think, to surely, lads, there's a nailed on DM here. Roger.
Yeah.
So, Buvey, talk to me about the importance of that, because obviously a lot of people are talking about City's form and their season last year comparable to previous seasons. He didn't play, barely played at all. Huge. How big a factor is that, him coming back? Because we've seen interesting quotes from him, isn't he, saying City fans expecting you to be back to where you were, and him saying, well, I'm not Messi. Do you know what I mean? What are your thoughts on how much of a difference he will make for you this season?
He makes the back line better because when we're off the ball, he can cover so much ground defensively speaking. He's such a leader. He's almost like a centre-back playing in midfield. And then on the ball, the likes of Phil Foden suffered last season because he's not getting that first-time ball through midfield, linking up play a lot quicker. City looked slow, lethargic last season without him. So he literally affects the front line, he affects the back line. He's been superb. Obviously, a couple of losses since he's come back and started football matches in the Premier League. But he's outstanding. He's a Rolls-Royce. He's an outstanding midfielder.
Worthy Ballon d'Or winner for you, Ads?
DM shouldn't be winning Ballon d'Ors, in my opinion.
Ever?
Or centre-backs. No. They were the best player in the world. They wouldn't be playing DM. Do you know what I mean?
Put Roger up.
Wow.
Put Roger up. I think we've got some disagreement in our next midfielder.
There's young kids who are watching this that want to play
Yeah.
DM. Thinking, "I'm changing my position." Keep
Why not
going
as a DM?
if you're a DM. Stick at it.
Some disagreement in the next midfielder.
He doesn't even start for you lot. He's rotting away on the bench.
Let's
completely
talk
misused
about
by
that.
Amorim.
What are your thoughts, Cobby? Unbelievable breakthrough. You know, he started a Euros final for England. That bursting onto the scene moment. What do you make of what's going on with Cobby and why he's not playing as much? And there was reports of potential loan deal. As a United fan, what do you make of that?
I can't lie. When there was suggestions that he was going to leave, it would have been the final straw for me with Amorim, like very quickly. I spoke to Amorim about it on the pre-season tour, to be fair. I asked him about what his plans were for Kobbie Mainoo, and he's always been very positive with the way he speaks about him. But obviously, actions speak louder than words, and if you're not in the team, then it is a bit of a worry. Now he's fighting with Bruno Fernandes, who's our captain, who's always delivering, who's always turning up, which, I can kind of get why he'd maybe be behind Bruno Fernandes. But then when you see the likes of Manuel Ugarte starting ahead of him, and I know that's because of balance in the midfield, but those guys can't pass wind, and Kobbie Mainoo can. And for me, Kobbie Mainoo is one of the most talented young midfielders in world football, and he should be in the Man United team. If Man United sold him, I wouldn't be able to recognise the club.
Would you start him tomorrow? Because obviously Mount's out injured, Cunha's out injured. Does that mean Bruno maybe gets pushed a bit further forward?
I think it's an ideal situation because it means you have to push Bruno forward. I think Bruno should be part of that front three anyway. I'm fighting for a spot in there because he works better as a false nine or one of the two wide tens.
Do you think Amorim will, though? Do you think he will? Or is he going to go for Ugarte and
I've got
Casemiro?
a horrible feeling we're going to see Ugarte Casemiro.
Because
Because it's almost become like, managers do this thing where they go, everyone keeps telling me to start him, so I'm not gonna. And it's like,
Stubborn, isn't it?
just do it.
Well,
Kobbie
he
has to
literally
start.
influenced the FA Cup final, obviously scored a winning goal in an FA Cup final at, 19 years old. And as an England fan, as a selfish England fan, I thought he was outstanding last summer for England. It's crazy. It's criminal he's not playing more football matches for Man United. What a footballer.
But can I add, though, as well, last season, he started a lot of games, and the games that he missed were usually because of injury. Like, he did start an awful lot of games last season. I know it was kind of more in the left kind of 10 position, which I think a lot of his best moments for United have come from his goal against Liverpool, City, against Wolves, etc. They come from that forward position. But he's also a very good midfielder. You've just got to get the right partner for him, I think.
I'm going to throw one more name in here. Like, I don't think he's exactly his position, but I think Mason Mount started the season.
He's been very good, but he's made the biscuits.
Buvey?
Very good. I mean, the standards are so poor at Man United. He's been okay. Do you know what I mean? These guys were celebrating 1-0 losses to Arsenal at the start of the season. The standards are in the gutter at Manchester United. They really are. And Mason Mount's been decent. He's injured again. He flatters
Above City, though, weirdly.
Yeah, out of the League Cup as well. It's a tricky one. I think the standards are so low at Man United. Even a 1-0 loss to Arsenal at home is a decent result. It's crazy.
Go on, let's talk about who you've got.
Come on. This
Reijnders.
guy, bargain
Now,
of
you
the
are
summer.
adamant that he has to be in this team, aren't you?
Oh, of course. I mean, the goal against Wolves, he was outstanding against
What's he doing in the
Wolves.
games after that?
Yeah, he's struggled at points. He has, but this is down to Guardiola. For me, it should be Rodri, Nico Gonzalez, and Reijnders as a number 10. That's how I see it. I don't see him as a double pivot, particularly against big sides like Tottenham, who organise very, very fantastically
Very well.
Paulinho in midfield was superb against Reijnders. So ultimately, it's about his position. But as a total footballer, he can do everything to such a high level. He'll score so many goals this season. He's a great footballer.
Massive
really
praise after the first game. People are already saying he's going to be like a City legendary status. There was huge praise from after that Wolves game.
Yeah, the new De Bruyne. But the issue is, he was asked in the games against Brighton, against Tottenham, to be a little bit deeper, and he got run ragged at points.
It helps when they've only got 3 legends in the whole club, though, innit? Ooh. One good performance at Molineux, suddenly there's a statue of you outside the Etihad.
Difficult one. I'm a massive fan of both players, slightly different. I think, do we edge for Reijnders?
No.
Played much. I mean, if we're talking about...
Remember
Obviously,
England.
Kobbie's nowhere near
Smithy,
Reijnders.
come on.
What are we doing here? Kobbie's nowhere near Reijnders.
Yeah, because he's much further ahead of him.
guy's a
We usually at this point
midfielder.
ask the guests if any of you are happy to concede, which you have.
I'm not
Something
conceding.
tells
It's
me you're
absurd. He's
not.
not even
Just
starting
don't forget what
matches,
he done for
Smithy.
England, by the way.
He's not starting
Don't
football
forget what he
Do you know
done
what,
for
it's,
England.
it's a tricky one. I'm a massive fan of Kobbie. I just think with, as you say, lack of game time, in your own argument, we'll edge with Reijnders.
You're a disgrace.
He's on the bench.
Thanks.
He's on the bench.
So you said in your answer there you'd have Reijnders playing further forward, but you've not got him in like the attacking midfield role of this combined 11. You've got him
No,
playing
because I'm going to be
part of a double
unbiased
pivot.
like I usually am.
But you've got him playing in part of a double pivot, surely, if Bruno's playing further forward.
Sorry, you said you're going to be unbiased like you usually are? Because someone clip that up.
Yeah, I think Bruno's a decent footballer. He's not world class. He never has been. But for Man United standards, where they came 15th last season, got smashed by Spurs in the Europa League final, Bruno was absolutely at that level. He would probably start for Man City right now. But
He starts for
where
Man
we go.
City
Is he world class
over the last. Right now, probably not, but he has been most of his career at Man United. You look at the numbers he puts up on a regular basis. He's the only one that really performs for us.
You can't be world class going 15th in the league, can you? Let's be real.
Without him, we probably finish 20th. Though.
Yeah.
To be fair, finishing 15th, you can't put that on him when he's putting up the numbers he is.
but you can
It's
put
not
him on-
down to him that he's finishing 15th.
What about they would have been in the Champions League final if he had a better performance against Spurs. It's not all his fault, but he was. By the way, people forget he had an absolute stinger against Tottenham in the Europa League final. We just forgive it because he shouts in Burnley players'
Yeah, but
faces.
you
It's
can't judge a player by one game, can you? You can have an off day when Bruno throughout the season consistently was dragging United through games.
Also, you look at his numbers,
Final.
the goals and assists he put up, and especially assists. You look at the strike,
Yeah.
the lack of strikers we had.
8 goals, 10 assists in 36 appearances in the Premier League last season.
I like it. I think he's just.
I think it was like 20-20 over.
That's just Premier League, yeah.
Yeah, nuts.
Yeah.
Most chances created and most possession won in the Premier League this season.
No
So I think-
Bernardo for you?
Not for me. No.
No Cherky can play a bit more
Cherky's injured at the
advanced?
moment. I've seen one game.
Is that your excuse?
He scored a great
There's
goal.
a few
against
injured
Wolves.
players on it. Nouri's in there injured.
Reijnders, yeah, but that's different. When I did the 11, he was out for 5 weeks. Now he's out for 5 weeks. Look, Bruno Fernandes probably gets in. I'm unbiased, lads. What do you want me to do?
He's unbiased.
All right, let's put Bruno out.
Buvey is unbiased.
Didn't even
There
let
you
me
go.
put it on the board. I haven't put one up yet, Booth.
No, you can do the next one.
Let's go to right wing then. Who have we got on the right?
Come on.
What did you just say a minute ago about Cherky being?
No,
Was it
look, for me,
injured?
Phil Foden has to come in. I think, for me, while Reijnders and Cherky, all these players are trying to get minutes in the middle, even someone like Marmoush when he comes back from injury, I think Phil Foden, play him on the right, he can come in on his left foot, score goals. We've seen him do it so many times. It's a big season for Phil Foden. I'm backing him. You have to. He's such a naturally talented footballer. He's one of the best talents I've seen as an England fan. Of his generation, there's no question about it, and he's got a big role to play.
So would
Hopefully
he start in your
against
best
Man United.
11? He'd start in your best 11?
Of course,
Just not in Pep's.
Absolutely,
You
absolutely.
don't think he starts in Pep's best 11?
I think he should. I think he's an amazing player, but
Yeah.
I also think the idea of Phil Foden's better than Phil Foden at the moment.
What do you
Like
mean
the
by that?
idea of him and the way he plays and the kind of, the things we have seen from him over the years, we don't see that too often now. And I thought last season was the chance. Phil Foden gets compared to Wayne Rooney and Frank Lampard and all these icons of Premier League football. And last season you had Gundogan on his way out, Bernardo Silva, who's obviously towards the back end of his career, Kevin De Bruyne's last season. It was a chance for Phil Foden to grab that team by the scruff of the neck and say, this is my team. I'm stepping forward
He's
now.
entitled to
And we
all
never
of the
ever
season.
saw it.
But he's entitled. I think Bruno's been average for 4 or 5 years. We keep giving him season after season after season. Phil Foden,
Bruno's
the
been
last
average for 4 or
English
5
player to
years.
win
Yeah, just let
PFA
him
Player
keep
of the Year
digging.
award was Wayne Rooney. So you're saying about Frank Lampard? He's won double the amount of Premier League titles than Frank Lampard. It's so disrespectful to
City
talk about
win
Phil
those
Foden
Premier
not
League
in this
titles without him,
conversation.
though.
What's that?
City
That's
probably
not
win
true.
those league titles without him.
The last title we won was all down to Phil Foden. He was unbelievable. And if you don't think he's part of City's best side going forward,
But Pep
you don't
doesn't.
understand what's going on.
Pep doesn't. Everyone goes, his best
But he's
position is
injured.
number
How can
10.
he start? He's injured.
He always starts on the left. So if his best position is number
he
10,
didn't.
why
When
is he starting out
When
on
he
the
won
left?
PFA Player of the Year award, he was playing number 10. He was scoring loads of goals.
It was
One of the
PFA
highest scoring English
PFA
midfielders
Player
we've
of the Year
seen.
award.
When
2 years ago.
Rodri won Ballon d'Or, which is weird.
Yeah, but the last English player to win PFA Player of the Year award wasn't Frank Lampard, Steven Gerrard, it was Wayne Rooney. So he's of that level. It's an
not,
incredible
he's
achievement.
not. He's
No,
got a long way to
better
go
than
to
Wayne
be of
Rooney,
that
but
level.
he's in that conversation. If you win PFA Player of the Year award as an English player in the Premier League, it's
Scott
very
Parker
rare.
won one of them.
Yeah, that's many years ago. But
And they went down.
Phil Foden's a big part of the City side going forward. He's young, he's got so much quality. If you don't see it, then I don't know what we're watching.
But he's not 18 anymore. He should be
Still-
starting week in, week out for City. There shouldn't
How
be
can he start
any-
if he's injured?
No, but when he's fit, he doesn't start week
He
in,
will.
week
He'll
out.
start football matches now, 100%. He'll play a
Let's
lot
talk
of
about who you've got.
Brian
Brian
Mbeumo.
Mbeumo, unbelievable season
I
last
think,
season.
he's not scarred with the fact that he can't throw the 15th finger at Brian Mbeumo because he wasn't playing for United last season. I also think you just look at the style of play. He's immediately brought it to Man United, his ability and how good he can be. We're seeing that already, and I think he's just goals and assists and everything he was putting up for Brentford last season.
Mate, 20 goals and 7 assists in 38 Premier League appearances for Brentford
Outstanding.
last season.
And he scored obviously against
Unbelievable.
Grimsby Town, missed the penalty of course, but he scored against Grimsby Town. This
You
guy's
mentioned the
fantastic.
Grimsby result quite a lot in this, I've noticed.
Well, it was a big.
He hasn't made his thing about battered cod yet.
Man United,
Go and say that one.
it's the home of battered cod. And Man United have never beaten Grimsby Town, but obviously Mbeumo missed a big penalty in that game as well. So what can I say?
Scored last weekend as well in the Premier League.
By the way, I never watched City in the League Cup. He clearly was enjoying
I was
watching
watching every
United.
second of it.
Joe, I know that you're a massive Mbeumo fan, aren't you? You're going to be very upset if we don't go
I
with
think
Mbeumo.
Mbeumo for this season, I think at the moment.
Better than Phil Foden.
I think Phil Foden is a more naturally talented player, but
Yeah.
as we sit here today,
Yeah.
in terms of season forward,
Can I
think
do it, John?
Mbeumo's in a position.
I'd agree with
to
that. I
top
think technical ability and all-round Foden, but you can't argue
Yeah.
with what Mbeumo's doing this
Fingers
season.
crossed Phil
and the
does get
numbers.
back to his
Yeah,
fit
it's
his
great
best
for
as
England.
well.
Brilliant player, Foden. Let's go to should we go left wing next?
Whoa, Buvey. Is that the
Yeah.
first Man United player you
Hey.
suggested?
Cunha's the one. Cunha's the one. Out of all the signings, I'm not sure about Sesko. I think there's a good chance he could flop this season. And Mbeumo scored a few goals. For me, Cunha is a Manchester United player. He plays with flair. He carries the ball very well. He'll pick up so many goals and assists. I know he's injured for the derby, but he's the one player that I'd worry about as a City fan. He's an unbelievable talent. He's my favourite Man United signing this summer.
It's a big blow, isn't it? Him not available for the derby.
Yeah, but it's good to see he's kind of back running and he's back doing a little bit of physical stuff. And like we said earlier, I think him not being available does help us a little bit in terms of team selection. But Yeah, it would have been nice to have him because especially on those counter-attacks, his running ability is amazing.
It's outstanding.
All right, let's get him up then.
Stick him up. And then I'm guessing you've gone with the same name.
Sesko! No, I'm joking.
Your face there, by the way.
Actually, I was looking for the door to leave the studio. Mid-show, I was going to leave.
Midweek, by the way.
Oh, mate.
My word. Is it 5 or 6 he scored for Norway?
He scored 5, and he's the only player in modern football history, and all of football history, right, even in the last 100 years, scored 5 goals in 3 separate football matches.
Yeah, they had me in net, though, don't forget.
It's an outstanding... Look, it's obviously Moldova, with all due respect, but to score 5, he's done it 3 different times.
Yeah,
he's done it in the FA Cup as well against Luton Town a couple of years ago. So, I mean, this guy is
Remember when he battled a
staggeringly
penalty
good.
in the at Wembley?
Yeah.
Remember that?
Why are you talking about that? I thought you don't watch City.
Maybe he shouldn't be on the team.
All right, so let's put Haaland up.
Yeah,
because
stick him up.
I think as the 11 goes, the right back is just still standing out to me, lads.
A left back. This is where Man United
I
are.
think with that
That's how
debate, you
good we
both
are.
brought interesting names to the table there. It's like, what do we do with that? But overall, 4...
By the way, look at this.
The position.
Be honest, 4
That's mental,
United
isn't
names. Are you happy with that?
No, it should have been 6.
You genuinely think there should be six names?
No, I think the little Lenny Yarrow should be in there.
Over who?
And maybe Cobby. But I can understand why we wouldn't pick Cobby.
Well, there we have it. Let us know what you think of that at home. They're not going to agree on anything, let's be honest. There is Buvey McKola's combined 11. Give us your thoughts of that at home.